Hello everyone, this video might be interesting to you and it's just the conversation I've been having with someone. I'm going to keep them anonymous, not going to say anything about who they are, whatever. This is a person who's obviously a raw foodist, interested. But they put up this post and I'll read out some of this. I won't read out it all just in case you work out who it is. And then the person might be watching this, so I don't want them to feel like I'm picking on them. But I want to use this in an example. This is really interesting, this post. Right, so it's in a group. And they say, this is a person that's on a juice fast, and they say, I thought it would be important to share my process with what I think is hypothyroidism and testing my iodine levels. Um, Immediately, as soon as I hear iodine levels, I kind of know who they might have got that idea from, but anyway, it might be something, yeah, blah, blah, blah. She says, if you have any of these symptoms, fatigue, constipation, irritability, difficulty losing weight, memory problems, feeling cold, joint pain, brain fog, poor circulation, dry, brittle hair, headaches, low libido, and the list goes on. Okay. So I'm not sure if they are doing the juice fast to get rid of what they think is hypothyroidism or if they feel they're developing that during the juice fast. So maybe I got this all wrong, right? But I replied to them, every one of these symptoms relates to undereating, apart from the trouble losing weight thing, but I'm going to get back to that. Every one of these symptoms relates to undereating. Have you been losing a lot of weight? Have you measured that? On juice fast, people often eat less than usual in terms of total calories. This quickly leads to almost all the symptoms you mention here. And they've replied, they've not lost weight and they've not been undereating. So I replied, have you tracked your weight accurately? What was it 60 days ago? What is it now? How many calories do you require on a daily basis? How many do you consume? And it's far more likely that you're undereating than you're experiencing deficiencies or hypothyroidism, which I completely believe to be the case. Okay. So, the point with this, and I might be wrong here, that might be that this person's been experiencing that and then they decided to do the juice fast, but I got the impression what they're saying is they've been experiencing these things during the juice fast and then they decided to do like an iodine test and all this stuff. They might have come across Don Bennett, the Woodstock Fruit Festival. He believes that people can become deficient in iodine because of the soil and therefore fruits and vegetables and stuff not having iodine in it. It's a sales pitch that goes back 100 years or so for the supplement industry, marketing information. Iodine was an issue at one time. It's not been an issue for a long time. Once again, in certain specific areas of the world, if you only get your food from one location, you could potentially get iodine deficiency because that area could have iodine deficient soil, particularly areas that get flooded. No one eats food from just one location now, apart from very small tribal communities and things like that. So it's very unlikely to be the case you have an iodine deficiency. If you do, you get symptoms, right? You get a goiter and things like that. So, I don't think I've got a goiter actually, interestingly enough. Yeah, but hypothyroidism is, and Don says that if you supplement iodine, you can get rid of hypothyroidism, I think, and that the doctor should be telling people to supplement iodine instead of giving them thyroxine and stuff like that. That's not really my area of expertise or whatever, but people can get Hashimoto's, hypothyroid, whatever, these thyroid issues. It's not my area, but I'm just saying a lot of people end up taking a hormone, like the hormones that are created by the thyroid, because they're not functioning right. And I don't know if it's iodine, I don't know what the thing is, but that can happen to people. Is it vitamin D related? Who knows? I don't know. But I think that people jump into the conclusion that they have hypothyroidism when they have these symptoms is not great. And it happened to a friend of mine a number of years ago, and she said she was totally believed that she had a thyroid issue. She went to the doctor, and the doctor told her, you don't have a thyroid problem. But she wasn't losing weight, and I think she was feeling depressed. Thyroid issue, clearly. Now, I don't know why people do that, but this thing about not losing weight, there is only... Let's understand this. If you're not losing weight, how can your thyroid stop you losing weight? You know, think about that. Think about that. How does your thyroid stop you from losing weight? If you're not eating enough food, or if you only eat enough food that your body has enough food to fuel itself, it's going to stay the same. If you eat less than that, which is what you have to do to lose weight, let me just say that a couple of times. You have to be at a calorie deficit to lose weight. There is no other way of doing it. You don't lose weight just by being on a healthy diet. It has to be a diet that is at a deficit of calories. Technically, a healthy diet for an overweight person is a diet that's at a calorie deficit. So that's what a healthy diet would be for them. But you have to be at a calorie deficit regardless of what you eat in order to lose weight. If you don't do that over a course of time, you don't lose weight. Now, if someone undereats, there is no way the thyroid can stop you from losing that weight. Doesn't matter what shape your thyroid is in, you're not going to lose weight. You're not going to keep that weight on. It's impossible. It's like people that say, oh, if your body doesn't trust you, it won't lose weight. How can it do that? If you don't eat enough calories, if you eat a calorie deficit, how is it holding on to the weight and keeping your body functioning? It needs those calories to keep everything going. You know, you're not a system outside of the rules of physics, and and a lot of people, when it comes to this diet stuff, you need to get grounded. And the problem with fasting and juice fasting is people just get way ungrounded on that. And fruitarian if you don't understand eating enough calories. Same thing. And people end up, they're not themselves, they're weird, they're vulnerable, and you're talking to them like, how come you're a different person today all of a sudden? You know, I've seen this. Oh, different personality shows up. Great. Fasting, right? Okay, cool. Juice fasting, right? Okay. Different personality. All of a sudden, the world's a spiritual place, and all this. Like, I don't know. It's not always that, but like, irritable sometimes or whatever. Not wanting to do anything, whatever. But they're saying fatigue, irritability, you know, and all that stuff. But just no like zest for life, no feeling, no power, no desire, like whatever. So thyroid, it doesn't matter what your thyroid is, it can't stop you from losing weight. Your thyroid could be destroyed, you're still going to lose weight. It could be over-functioning, under-functioning, it's not going to have it. And I really hate that people think, oh, the reason I'm not losing weight is because of my thyroid. How can that make sense? It can't make sense. So anyway, this person's talking about not losing weight on a juice fast. More likely they don't realise they're losing weight. It's very easy. Well, firstly, you can have an unrealistic expectation, especially if you've been raw vegan and you go on a juice fast. You're not going to lose weight that quickly, really. Because the people that go on a juice fast and lose a lot of weight quickly are the people that go from like a standard diet to a juice fast. All of a sudden their body in 2 or 3 days clears out most of the food that's been hanging about in their system. Maybe less time than that. Maybe more time than that. That's weight. That was weight in your body, so that goes. Now you're taking in way less food anyway because you're not taking in any fibre. So that's you lose weight all of a sudden, 4 or 5 pounds. but it's not even anything, it's not really any weight. Um, then you lose water weight because you're not having any salt. That could be another bunch of pounds. It could be another 5 pounds, 10 pounds of water weight. Then you undereat, so you're going to lose a little bit of fat, but probably not a huge amount of fat. It's very difficult for people to go into a calorie deficit where they're losing more than like 2 or 3 pounds a week consistently. Pretty difficult even to do 2 pounds consistently. Maybe not impossible, pretty difficult. You have to be pretty disciplined in a juice fast and not, break the juice fast. So more likely the person is not happy with the fact that they're not losing weight as quick as they want to. There are many weeks on my weight loss journey, which some of you might have followed. Over 22 weeks, I lost 33 pounds. Now, on that, there were many times that I thought I've not lost any weight this week. I've gained weight this week. I've not lost weight this week. Many times I thought that. I went to weigh myself and I had lost weight. And that's the only way that you can know for sure. If you don't properly track it, and by properly tracking it I mean having a consistent time at one point of the day and a consistent time the next week at the same time. In the morning when you've not eaten anything yet, after you've been to the toilet, whatever, something like that. And consistently, you weigh yourself once a week and you see where you're at. It's the only way to know. So they could do a 60-day juice fast. They only lose 8 pounds. They're not happy with it, but they lost 8 pounds. But they don't realise they lost 8 pounds. They're looking at how they think they look, and they don't look skinny yet. Well, that's because it's probably going to take another 4 months before you get to the level of skinniness you want for some people. So a lot of people don't like that reality. They hate it, actually. They want to be skinny next week. It's unbelievable how many people are caught in that, and it just makes them fail again and again and again. They want to be skinny tomorrow, next week, 2 weeks' time. No, it's not. It's a new lifestyle. You need to change for good, basically, and you need to be consistently losing weight over a long period of time. It's the only way people lose weight. Get back to reality. Are there people that can lose 20 pounds in a week or something like that? There probably are people that can lose 20 pounds in a week. But that cannot continue after that. And we're talking about an obese person can maybe lose 20 pounds in a week. And they can maybe lose 3 pounds a week after that. I actually don't know. I can research that. I don't know what the fastest weight loss was. But even if you did fasting, and this is where it gets really difficult. If you fasted and ate nothing, you still, the maths around this is, let's say you need 2,000 calories a day. Over the course of a week you need 14,000 calories. And a lot of you are going, I don't want to look into numbers and all that stuff. I want to just, pick fruits from the universe and all that. And that's kind of fine. And I just want to align with my joy and my purpose. And okay, you can do that. But if it's not worked for you yet, get on a different plan that works. And we all get into things and we want it just to magically happen. Same with business, same with creativity, same with relationships. We want it to all just be a magic process. I don't know why, and there's very sensible, rational mathematicians that I've met. I no specific story, but when he was interested in a little business he was starting, totally didn't look at it in a logical maths way, which you should, or you can. And probably the same thing with people that are really good at building a great relationship. If they were to go on a diet or something, they wouldn't look at it in the same way, like, okay, there's a process, there's a way of doing this, there's rules, there's principles. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. And people are not prepared to do that yet. Or if they were to learn an instrument or do something creative, they want to believe it's just all inspiration and one day and the next day you can play. It's not. It's a process of development. the reason that I got quite good at a lot of things, one of the things that changed my perspective on everything, probably, and has informed how I treat everything, which allowed me to successfully achieve a bunch of things for my personal self, not amazing big things, but for me, was because I started playing guitar when I was 10 years old. And I remember getting that guitar and thinking, okay, I'm just going to be able to play or whatever. Like it was just, I saw people just doing this on the television. I thought, well, it looks easy enough. I didn't realize there was any more work to it than that. So, and then I thought, oh wait, I need to learn all this stuff. And you get, and in that moment, it's like dread. There's a feeling of dread. Like I thought I was just going to get this and play. Because you're only 10 or 11 years old. I don't know if 10 or 11 years old people even get guitars anymore. Anyway, but they probably get a mix station or something and rap into it or some rubbish. So anyway, yeah, what am I trying to say? They're just like, it's playing guitar, and then I started to develop a really long term because it's frustrating. It takes a long time. And you see these guys like, and you're like, geez, how long does it take to get there? And then you start thinking in your mind, 10, like, what am I going to be like in 10 years' time? I remember thinking about that. I want to see what I'm like in 10 years' time. I want to see what guitar I've got. I want to, all that stuff. And I had this goal of playing guitar, and I worked at it, and never got any praise for it. Like no one ever said, no one in my family or life or friends or whatever, no one ever was like supportive of that. Or it was just me. It was just for me, my own passion, and it taught me. It was a great teacher. It taught me that things have patterns, and especially music. Musicians, we are about. I'm a musician, right? We are about patterns and structure, and you might think it's all inspiration and all that. It's not. Music is patterns, rules, structure, mathematics. You know, it doesn't make me a very structured person, I gotta say, but I understand that music is not just randomness. I've started to realize, well, there's patterns to this, and you start to bring things down into concise, smaller bundles of information, called chunking, technically. And that informs you. When you spend 10 years, 5, 10 years every day practicing, getting better at something, and eventually you start to master it, and eventually it becomes unconscious, so that if I pick up a guitar now, I don't think about it. I think about it so little that I can talk to people and do other things while playing, and my fingers will do whatever, and a lot of you will have had that same experience, and you understand that. But we understand how long it takes to master things and get better at things, and that everything is a system and a time and a process, so that when you then do something else, I'm going to start playing piano, you don't think, this will take me a few days. You think, this is another 6, 7, 10 year process. And are you willing to commit to that? I'm going to start a language. Okay, this is 5, 6 years until I'm anywhere with it. Or maybe it takes less for a language, I don't know. But I'm just saying that people are trying to do things a little bit too quickly. And that's where people fail. That's why people fail at losing weight, because they want it to happen too quick. Overnight, I'm just going to juice fast. I'm not even going to think about how much I eat or when I eat or how much juice I have, or what type of juice. I'm not going to think about any of that, and I'm just going to lose tons of weight. It might not happen. If you're used to, if you can, well, there's not a lot of people. The person is most likely losing some weight unless they're eating other things on the side. They're most likely losing weight. They are most likely not realizing they're losing weight, and not happy that they might only be losing, as I said, 8 pounds, 10 pounds. A lot of people can't even tell they've lost 10 pounds. They're like, oh my god, I'm still fat, So some people, it might take 20, 30 pounds before they even notice it, The same thing with gaining it. People don't even notice. So um, it's just that I don't know. I'm just going through this process of how I look at these posts when I see them online. I shouldn't really spend too much time looking at them, but it's an example for everyone who's interested in that. Um, as an example of what I would do if I was helping someone, I look for the most obvious thing. When it comes to coaching or helping someone with the raw food diet, the most obvious thing are the things that people make a mistake with. Eating too much fat, under eating on calories. Those are the two things that most people do at some point or other. Still having cooked food in your diet, obviously that's a problem. So a lot of people, they're failing in a raw food diet because they're like, well, I don't really feel that great, and I'm at a 50% raw diet or whatever, 75% raw. And it's like, well, you don't get the experience of a raw diet without doing it, you know. So yeah, I'm not losing weight in this raw food diet. I've told you these stories about people that have said to me, when do I start to feel good on this raw food diet? I don't not feeling any benefit. And the next day, the next week, I see them. This has happened twice to me at least. See them in a restaurant eating something else, eating fish. One time I saw someone eating sushi. Another time it was actually vegan fish and chips. Like total junk food. Vegan junk food, so not harmful to the animals, but it's like fried in batter, salt, blah blah blah, you know, all that stuff. I don't know what the fish is made out of, some processed thing. So not as bad for your health, not bad for the animals, but still, it's you're not going to feel great on that. Of course not. Raw food diet is a sacrifice. You sacrifice the excitement and like the whatever that is, surrendering to food. You 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 surrender that for feeling good. That's it. You surrender that tiny little moment of excitement around eating food for hours and hours of feeling good. That is the way it works. And eventually you'll hopefully if you keep on experimenting with it, you'll feel like that sacrifice is worth it. And if you don't, you'll go back to eating other things. It's all fine. So anyway, I might be wrong, right? But these symptoms: fatigue, constipation, irritability, memory problems, feeling cold, brain fog, headaches, low libido, undereating, 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 too little calories, not enough calories, not enough calories. Now you might say, how come I've been able to lose weight and not have so many of these symptoms? I would say I've had some of them, but that's why you don't want to lose weight too quickly, because you want to be able to keep going with your life. So you just want to undereat and be at a calorie deficit enough that you lose weight. But you don't want to lose your mind over it. So, but you will have to sacrifice as well if you're losing weight. You might have to sacrifice it. You're going to be irritable sometimes. You're going to be, your libido might be lower. But the things that they added in there: difficulty losing weight, joint pain could be a kind of a detox symptom. Hair loss is not for me because I'm a man, right? But hair loss is if you lose hair like this, like you go bald, that's not because of undereating, for sure. That's something else. Most likely, it's to do with your genetics. So what do you want to do about that? But if you're losing your hair, like it could be that you're undereating if you're on a juice fast. Anyway, I don't know if this person's gonna listen to me, right? Probably not. And some of you are more likely to listen to like Robert Morse or someone that'll tell you to eat herbs. And I don't understand this part of it. Is that they kind of say, yeah, I might have some deficiencies in that post. And I'm thinking, why is there this jump to deficiencies? Why not? Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe I'm not as in touch with my body as I thought I was. Maybe you're not. Maybe we all need to develop that connection with our body that everyone seems to think they have the moment they start eating raw food. I know my body really well. I know my body. No, you don't. You were drinking, like, people have said these things to me. Like, I know my body well. You smoke cigarettes, you drink alcohol, you have 3 cups of coffee a day, you don't sleep enough. And they tell me that it's so frustrating, it's so arrogant, so egotistical. I know my body. I don't even know my body well enough to not have to at least think a little bit about how much I'm eating and being aware of some of these symptoms. Oh, I'm irritable. Must be B12 deficiency. No, how about we try eating a little bit more, you know? Okay, it's quite a lot in that video. I hope you got something out of it. Feel free to comment on below, let me know your thoughts, and feel free to share it with someone if it helps them out, and we'll see you in another video.